YouTubers, family and friends, welcome back to the channel. My name's Edward. I'm here today in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I flew back here from my daughter's place in Minnesota here on Tuesday to spend some more time with my mom, and I was wanting to go to the DMV and get some more things done there concerning a duplicate title and getting a vehicle transferred into name of a friend, and get all that taken care of. I've been trying to do for a couple weeks, but due to the cyber attack that happened in Nevada, all the DMVs were shut down for over a week, and now they're on a big backlog situation. So I was told by the DMV representative the other day that it might be another 10 to 14 days. So yeah, so I'm coming back. I have a Social Security appointment on the 23rd of September, and during that, I'm going to come back for a week from Minnesota. I'm actually going to fly back to Minnesota, spend some more time with my daughter, and then my brother's going to pick me up at her house after I do a bunch of work on the truck that I gave her when I left for the Philippines in 2019. That truck's still going, right? I showed it to you on the last video. It's in actually pretty darn good shape for having 107 or 87,000 miles on it. So I got to replace the starter on that, and then my brother's we're gonna go up to his house, and I'm gonna spend a lot of the next 5 weeks with him. Other than the 1 week, I'm gonna actually fly back down here to try to get this DMV stuff taken care of, and that Social Security appointment that I've had now for a couple months. And any mail then I need to get at my mailbox here, and also what I want to do is get my carry permit, and I'm gonna try to get that on that week here. So it's just a class you have to go to. I think it's a 4-hour class, and then I'm not sure if you actually shoot a weapon there at the class. I think you do to be having to have to qualify for your carry permit, but I'm not sure. I'm going to find out, and that's one of the first things I'm going to attempt to try to do when I get here that week of the 23rd of September. So we'll see. And there's some questions too. Does that carry permit transfer to other states other than Nevada? And I need to research that more, but some states, yes, it does. Some states it doesn't. So you have to research the law and see what that is. So I'm going to try to take care of that during also that time. Does that transfer to other countries like the Philippines? No, I don't know that either, but I'm going to find out. But it'll be nice to have a carry permit. I mean, things are getting crazy in the U.S., guys. I mean, I would suggest you always have a personal protection with you like that. You would be very wise to do so, as long as you really know how to handle one. And if you don't, you should be practicing how to handle one. So there's a lot of hairy times ahead, guys. I mean, all you have to do is look at the price of gold. It's today jumped over $3,600 per ounce. It's a record high. It's never been that high before in the history of the United States. So there's many things that you got to look at. Even silver is over $41 an ounce now. I mean, that's just crazy. It's only been higher than that 2 other times in history, and I think within the next few weeks it'll blow through that all-time high of right around $50 per ounce. So when this next financial crisis happens, which no one knows for sure, but the repo market is about at its limit right now too. And if you know anything about the financial markets, it happened back in 2019, the fall of 2019, just after I had moved to the Philippines and retired in the spring of 2019. And I thank God for that. He was watching out for me and had me retire at the perfect time where I missed COVID. I didn't have to deal with any of that COVID stuff except for, the restrictions that were put on me in the Philippines, which was almost 3 years of a lockdown there, guys, where they never even let international flights in and out of the country. So, anyways, getting back to gold and silver, when this next financial crisis happens, guys, gold will be, so high in price that the common man, won't even be able to even get close to what the price of it's going to be. And concerning silver, this is probably getting close to one of the last chances that you guys are going to be able to get some of that stuff before the ultimate collapse happens here, guys, because when this next one happens, the Fed is going to go all out hyperinflation printing of digital money, guys, and this will probably be the last time, because we're talking in the quadrillions. Because look at what's going on right now. 6.8 billion was the government's budget for 2024. Trillion. Yeah, 6.8 trillion was the government's budget for 2024. And I looked into it a little bit, and it's 1.5 trillion of that goes to Social Security recipients. And that's kind of another reason why I'm here in the U.S. now, right? Trying to secure my retirement of Social Security. That my first payment is supposed to happen October 8th. So that's another thing with Social Security, guys. I originally applied online from the Philippines in May 20th of 2025, and my SSA account online has been locked up ever since. Ever since I submitted my application, they lock up your account and they don't tell you what's going on. If they need more information to evaluate how much you're going to get per month, nothing. And I've talked to like 5 to 7 different Social Security agents online, and I've talked to one even at an office when I went to St. George, Utah, if you guys remember that video. And I submitted a form to them to discontinue because I went online. I said, yeah, maybe I should apply for disability too because of my amputation of my foot. Well, I decided that after talking with some agents and stuff that I probably wouldn't qualify anyways because it's not much of a disability that would qualify. So I gave them a form to discontinue the application for disability through Social Security, and then gave them all the information they needed for my youngest son to get his Social Security number and card, which that's all been accomplished, and I have his Social Security card now, so that was all good. But also while I was there, I asked them about my account being locked, and I couldn't see anything as far as my application was concerned. And like I tell you, that today is September 5th, 2025. And when I was in Utah and asked them about, why can't I see anything, they said, well, that should clear up and you should get a letter saying that, you've been approved and that this is the amount that we've decided that you're going to get per month about a month before you get your first payment. Well, I'm supposed to get my first payment, benefit through direct deposit into my U.S. bank account on October 8th. So a month prior to that, September 8th. So today's September 5th. So within this next week, I should be getting a letter from the Social Security office saying I've been approved, or if there's a problem, they need more information, blah, 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 right? So I have an appointment with them on the 23rd in case there's a problem. And also where I'm going to my brother's house in Minnesota, there's within an hour drive or so from his place, or maybe an hour and a half, there's a Social Security office in Minnesota. And like I say, you don't have to be a resident of that state with Social Security. All that matters is you have to be a U.S. citizen. So there, it's like two days from the time you make an appointment, you can get an appointment. 2 or 3 days, and I'm sure they accept walk-ins too. Because like I told you before, when I went into the St. George, Utah office, Social Security office last month, there was half the people that were at the door went to the kiosk once they got inside the door and just didn't have an appointment, and they just got a number assigned to them, and they just waited until they were able to be served. And like I said, it was only like what 6 or 8 people at the door when the guard let us in the Social Security office. So all this stuff online, majority of it is baloney. Even the official stuff for DMV, for Nevada, and for all the Social Security offices that, oh, you must have an appointment this, you must have an appointment that. No. Majority of offices, there's no problem. You know, there's so much complaining online. It's unbelievable, trying to scare people, you know, about, oh, they're so understaffed, blah, 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 you know, and you have to make an appointment. No. Majority of that's all negative, fake news, guys. Majority of offices still allow walk-ins. Just go to the kiosk, punch in your name, information, and you sit there and wait, unless it's an office that there's long lines out the door. Then a lot of times they will turn you away if the amount of people that are there is already booked up all their agents for the day, for the time that's left in the day. Then yes, they will turn you away if there's long lines. But if you go to a Social Security office or a DMV office in your state that's remote or rural, that's not rarely a problem that you can't just walk right in, guys. So please don't listen to this baloney online. So anyway, so like I say, I'm just, you know, going through, and like I say, it's sad that, you know, it's been months, right, since I submitted my application. And also the agent in Utah did say, you know, because I applied with the Philippines address instead of my address in Nevada, that could, you know, mess up my deal. So she said she was going to try to transfer my case back to Nevada. And originally my case went to Baltimore, Maryland. That's the first agency that my application went to, and then they transferred it to the Philippines because I put my Philippines address on there, and I shouldn't have. And that's bad on me. That's my mistake. And the only reason I did that is because of my autistic son resides there, and in order to have you know, information, and if there was a telehealth for his disability interview, you know, I wanted them to know that that's where we reside most of the time, and my son pretty much all the time. So that's why I did that, and it was probably to my detriment. We're going to see what happens. So anyways, the saga continues, and hopefully some of these tips that I'm giving you guys, according to what I've run into with my experience, is going to help you out. Like I say, it would have been ideal, and my original plan was I was just going to wait until I got to the U.S. and applied for Social Security. Well, you're supposed to apply 3 months ahead of time, right? And immigration was still holding me back in the Philippines until August, so I didn't really have a choice, guys, of what happened to me, and hopefully it'll all pan out, and I'll keep you all updated. So, and that's about it for now. All I would say is that the dollar and all the currencies of the world are becoming more and more useless, and I would say use dollars to pay stuff off, but hold your savings in gold and silver, because when this thing breaks this time, this next financial crisis happens, which could be in weeks, months, a couple years, we don't really know for sure, right? But it's getting close again, and when it does happen, it's going to be too late even to get some of this stuff like gold and silver, because it's going to be like unattainable, right? There won't be any to buy anywhere. It'll be that hoarded and that gone that quick. Why? Because there's really not much of it anyway. And the price will soar so much it won't even be funny. And people, if that don't have any gold and silver, your dollars might last a couple weeks in that, but it's going to be where then stores and gas stations and all that won't even accept dollars. So that's kind of what you're running up against. Maybe some will accept Bitcoin. I don't know how that's going to play out, but every other crash that's happened with Bitcoin or any downturn or whatever, I got to watch my words too, because it's supposedly that CRASH word, YouTube is putting the kibosh on people's videos because of that. I don't know why, but anyway, they have their reasons, but they're starting to clamp down again on that kind of stuff. From some people I know that I watch their videos, that their videos are being taken down when they mention that word. So whatever. Anyway, it would just be wise to hold that stuff if you can get it and if it's available right now, because someday in the future, in the near future, definitely within the next 2 or 3 years, that's not going to be available anymore, guys. So until the absolute reset transition to the next digital, most likely it's going to be digital, whether it's Bitcoin or CDBCs, something that the Federal Reserve and the government's already planned on, or tokenization, electronic cryptocurrency of some type. Until the transition happens, all you're going to be able to do is barter with what you have to gain food, or gain the ability to even drive your car and get gas to drive your car, or if you have an electric car, to get electricity. I mean, we don't know the extent of how bad the reset is going to be, guys, but it's almost inevitable, absolutely inevitable. You can't go into the trillions and quadrillions, of what's going on right now with the government debt, guys, before something catastrophic happens. And they know that we're at the end game right now, guys. It absolutely is the end game. So prepare however you think you should, and it's almost guaranteed that if you're in a big city, that's going to be the worst of the carnage, because stocks of everything are going to run out very, very quickly. And when people are hungry and starving, that's when the violence happens, guys. Absolute violence. It's proven throughout history. That's when major violence happens. And if they can't get food, all the food's gone, then they start eating each other. I mean, that's just the truth, guys. So this stuff gonna be bad, but if you prepare, it will be less bad for you when it happens. So that's all I can say is be prepared the best that you think you need to be in order to save yourself and your family especially. So I love you guys with all my heart. Be traveling soon back to Minnesota, and that'll probably be where my next video comes from. But my brother is a very, very private person, so most likely I will not be doing any videos from his house. If I do, I'll take my videos off his property, somewhere else in Minnesota. I own some land on a lake with friends, and my good buddy from 5 years old, I'll be meeting up with him in about a week and a half. So maybe I'll do a video from there most likely, and let you guys see the land I got. We actually own, me and 3 of my buddies, one of which is my best friend since age 5. We all bought a property a few years back, like 20 years ago, and we all own it, 53 acres, which is, over double what I own in the Philippines. So it's a big chunk of land in northern Minnesota. So anyways, that's it for now. I love you guys very much. Take care. God bless, and we'll see you next time.